Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your host, the artist formerly known as Bill Chungus, the mouth of the South, a.k.a. Ron Bowler, most recently recognized as Straight Edge Bill, government name, William Ross Bolen. Here with co-host Jared Borislow, J-Bone.
J-Bone.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. My nephew should be born any day now.
Any moment now or any day now? Like today?
It could be today.
You don't know. It's one of those things.
Yeah. It's
Due
like
date so soon, water could break any second kind of thing.
Something I learned, apparently water doesn't break for a lot of women.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I thought water always broke. I thought it was like, oh, you have to be somewhere and then you just burst out.
Yeah. I thought that was like one of the requirements before childbirth could take place.
What is that? What is going on there, by the way, when the water breaks?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to know. It's kind of like the squirting situation, which actually fan and friend of the show, rapper Currency, recently tweeted about this and caused quite an uproar because, as many have discovered, when a female, which I've also been told I'm not supposed to call women females recently, so that's confusing, but when women squirt, it's pee. That's pee that you're dealing with. So I don't know what the water breaking situation is. I just know that I don't want to know, and I hope it's water, right? Because that'd be the least gross version possible in the magical process of creating life.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it's going to just be like H2O, though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Some other stuff in there.
Yeah, I want to say placenta, but I know that's not right. Jared, be honest with the people, and more importantly, yourself. Because last night was the Super Bowl, did you forget today was Valentine's Day?
I did not, no.
Good. I didn't either because I'm a lover and a fighter. But I did have to pop by the grocery store this morning for flowers as my original plans kind of went out the window, long story short. And man, I saw a lot of really hungover dudes in the grocery store buying overpriced flowers and teddy bears. Now, I used to judge these last-second losers haphazardly throwing down outrageous amounts of money for flowers that'll be dead in a week just so they don't end up in the doghouse with their lover. But now that I'm a man, I'm 40, or, close enough at 34 years old, wiser and more patient, better looking and more understanding, I completely get why some people end up last-minute shopping for Valentine's Day. Look, man, the last couple years completely wrecked everybody's calendar. And to make matters worse, Roger Goodell had to go and add an extra game to the NFL season, which put the Super Bowl literally the day before Valentine's Day. And if there's one thing the straight male sports fans don't do well, it's handle multiple holidays in a close vicinity or especially back-to-back in the planning that comes with a situation like that. And the Super Bowl, it is a holiday, the Super Bowl. For generations, many lemmings in corporate America have argued that the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a day off because our brains are all half functioning. And when you throw the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day in the same 48-hour window, you are asking for trouble. So, ladies, if you're listening and your man got shit hammered last night and lost a bunch of money betting on Joe Burrow and woke up with chip crumbs and queso all over his shirt and forgot to buy you a Valentine's Day gift, so he shows up with some moldy-ass flowers from Kroger or H-E-B or whatever.
A planter.
Yeah, just cut him some slack. It's not his fault. It's Roger Goodell's fault, like so many of the issues in our society today.
Is it possible that the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day will fall on the same day? I don't know how calendars work.
I don't either, especially with I think because Valentine's Day is always February 14th. Like there's a constant in this hypothesis that we're drawing currently.
So then it
is possible.
I feel like it's an eventuality, right? If it's one day off now, I do not know how dates and calendars work at all. But you can't tell me if something is one day before something, eventually it won't be on the same day.
I'm going to guess that in 6 years rather, that they'll line up. But that's just me also knowing next to nothing about the calendar. Speaking of Valentine's Day, it's time to talk about something near and dear to all of our hearts. Animals fucking each other. Hit it, Jared.
Grab your light. This is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
All right, today's stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is panda pornography.
Panda.
Now, panda pornography, or panda porn, according to Wikipedia,
Okay.
thank you, Wikipedia, for distinguishing as if we didn't know, refers generally to movies depicting mating pandas intended to promote sexual arousal in captive giant pandas. Under zoo conditions, the animals have, in general, proven unenthusiastic about mating, the pandas, placing their species in danger of extinction. So this method of using panda porn was popularized following reports of an experiment performed by zoologists in Thailand, of course. Of course it was Thailand, in which they showed several captive giant pandas at one of their zoos, a number of videos showing other giant pandas having sex. Now, before we go any further, I have to ask, why was there even existing footage of giant pandas having sex? Was that panda porn made for the specific purpose of being shown to pandas who are impotent, or was there just some freak out there who was really into watching pandas do the dirty and making a little video collection, and then one day it just happened to work out for science? There's no specificity in that regard on this Wikipedia page.
I feel like most of the best scientific discoveries started with a creepo,
or an accident, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wasn't LSD an accident?
sure. So
Yeah, I'm
this
pretty
is just
sure.
like Pete was going to the zoo every day and just getting off to pandas banging.
Like sneaking in a little camcorder,
And they
wait-
confiscated it one
waiting
day.
for everybody else to clear out, and then he was just like, all right, yeah. And exactly. Then one day a zoologist was like, damn it, Pete, give me that. Went in the back and watched what Pete had filmed and was like, ding, light bulb. I have an idea.
Okay, I thought you meant ding. He himself got an erection too.
Well, but that's possible. I assume all zoologists are attracted to animals getting naughty with each other.
And now this goes along with my point that everybody who has a collection of something fucks that thing.
Sure.
Like if you have a collection of baseball cards, you fuck the baseball cards. It's just how I think it is.
Right.
What is a zoologist but not a collector of animals for pay?
I can't argue with your point there, sir. Though researchers behind the project state that they believe there have been successful mating due to usage of sex videos for animals, such success so far has not been achieved outside of China, where 31 cubs were born over a 10-month period following commencement of the experiment. So they have the best panda porn in China, which you would also expect. When you think pandas, you normally think China, not necessarily Thailand. When you think Thailand, what do you think, Jared?
Ping pong.
That's where people go to have sex with children. That's what I think. Thailand. That seriously is the whole entire reputation of that one fairly large country in my mind, which can't be fair, but is the case.
I know people who have gone to Bangkok and have said, wow, what a cool, vibrant city.
See,
But then you hear the stories as well.
well, and also just the name, Bangkok.
Yeah, that's what you do there.
Come on.
My brother spent a lot of time in Bangkok.
Well, I've got questions for Jeff. Other methods, including the use of Viagra to sexually stimulate pandas, have thus far been unsuccessful. What a sad state of affairs when a male mammal has to be pumped full of erectile dysfunction pills and fed a steady diet of hardcore pornography to keep his libido alive. That would never happen to me, ever.
Yeah, it is concerning. Like, are the women just not, the panda women not hot anymore?
I think it's the dudes, probably. I don't think it's the women.
They discovered the internet, maybe? Are the pandas on the internet? Are they plugged in 5G?
I don't know if they've got the 5G, but yeah, it turns out there are people who watch other people make sex to get excited too. It's absolutely sinful and disgusting. Jared, on the other hand, has a hardcore hentai addiction, and I admittedly have been shopping for a furry suit, so who are we to judge? You know?
Yeah.
Do you think there's like a Ron Jeremy? Okay, that's not a good example.
Yeah, bad example.
Do you think there's like a Johnny Sins of panda porn? Just like one panda who everybody knows, like that guy's going to get the job done. This next video we film, we've got to get him.
What would his name be?
I don't know. I can't really think of a good panda name. I feel like they have to be foreign.
Well, yeah, I don't think pandas are native anywhere but mainland Asia.
I'm looking up famous panda names, and yeah, they're all like Tai Shan, Tian Tian, TNT and the female. Why? Come on. That's not even creative. There's two of them. One's a male, one's a female. They're both named Tian Tian. One's in the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. The other's in Edinburgh.
What about John Cien?
Tuin, Ewan. These are all the panda names that showed up when I looked up famous giant pandas alive today.
Oh, these are the ones that are alive.
According to Google. Sure.
Question.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider getting into the market of creating panda porn?
Now, we could cross-pollinate here in terms of subject matter from the podcast, and you and I could both put on giant panda fursuits, go out back, and I spank your tight little ass. We film that. Baby, we've got some panda porn cooking.
You want to, just to be clear, you want to go into your backyard in giant panda suits and spank me so that maybe
It'll
a
arouse
panda
a
in
panda.
Thailand will
get off.
Will get hard.
You don't think you and I, as pandas, would get all of the actual pandas just raging hard-ons? You don't think that? I do.
I just don't know if I know what a panda thinks is hot.
You and I dress as pandas. That's what they think is hot. That's their biggest kink. J-Bone. All right, moving on. Today's episode is also brought to you by Sunday Lawn Care. It is hard to believe, but spring is finally on its way. We are so close to feeling that soft grass underneath our feet. But first, many of you who didn't use Sunday last year need to get your lawns back. Thankfully, Sunday gets your lawn growing and helps to keep it healthy all season long. I used it last spring and this winter, and as such, Bolen Media HQ's front and backyard both survived the most recent Austin, Texas freeze and are ready to stunt on the entire neighborhood the rest of 2022. Most of us might not think about our lawns in the winter, but this is the time to prep for the whole rest of the year. You're probably thinking you have so much work to do to get it green and healthy again. No, you don't. Sunday takes all the work out of it for you. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. Their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn, and with ingredients like seaweed, iron, and molasses. If you've got kids and pets running around, you don't have to worry about anything. You can feel good about that. All you have to do is visit getsunday.com/Bolen20. Put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest, lets you know exactly what you need. Then they use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered right to your door when you need it. You just attach the easy-to-use, ready-to-go pouch to a garden hose and spray it. It takes less than 15 minutes to cover your front yard or your backyard. I didn't know diddly squat about lawn care, and truth be told, I still don't, but I've been using Sunday since last spring, and what I do know is this stuff really works. It really is so easy. You just hook up the Sunday spray like the Lawn Strong or the Winter Care one, both of which I've got behind Jared right now. You plug in the little hose attachment, attach it to your hose, and you are ready to rock. And Sunday is offering all RBP listeners 20% off, so your lawn can look its best for the rest of the year. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/Bolen20. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Bolen20.
Ross, you know that I added something to the soundboard specifically for this ad read.
Hit it!
Sunday.
And that is how it's done. It's time now for insane headlines of the day. Our first one, Mattress Mack has lost more than $15 million in sports gambling in the past 5 weeks alone.
Mattress Mack is the king of making me go, oh my gosh, wow, look how much money Mattress Mack is putting on this bet. And I never check in afterwards to see if he won or not.
Well, it turns out lately, not winning at all. So from the Houston Chronicle, Jim McIngvale, otherwise known as Mattress Mack, the gallery furniture owner, has lost more than $15 million in sports gambling in the past 5 weeks. This is the guy who became nationally he's a Houston celebrity where I grew up, 4th biggest city in the country, so that's a pretty big celebrity just to start with. But he blew up kind of nationally because the Astros made the World Series 3 of the last 5 years, much to the dismay of haters and doubters everywhere who are upset that they cheated more effectively than their own baseball team. And Mattress Mack was constantly throwing down these outrageous bets during those World Series runs that were making national headlines as sports betting has become more and more legal in more and more states across our country. Back to the Chronicle. The gallery furniture owner, who routinely bets millions of dollars on sporting events to offset his in-store promotions, important note that we'll get to in a second, bet $4.5 million on the Cincinnati Bengals to win. When McIngvale placed his bet last week in Louisiana, the Bengals were 4.5-point underdogs, so Cincinnati actually covered the spread, but he bet the Bengals to win. That's a money line bet, straight up, instead of just to cover, so he lost. The Bengals were plus 170 to win the game, so McIngvale would have won more than $7.7 million with a Cincinnati victory.
Why did he not just bet the money line?
Because
bet the spread.
When you're a big dick degenerate like Mattress Mack, you got to go for it all, baby. The odds are so much better. You get a bigger payout. That's the answer. He couldn't fucking help himself. Now, this is the important part. Gallery Furniture was offering customers who purchased a mattress set or reclining furniture priced at $3,000 more or more, I'm assuming, their money back if the Bengals won the game. Okay? So this dude is severely hedging his bets with these furniture deals that he sets up. But still, these are some massive, massive losses the guy has taken. Listen to this. In the past 5 weeks alone, McIngvale has lost $15.4 million on sports gambling. He had money on each of the Patriots and Titans to go on and win the Super Bowl. Both were eliminated in January. He also bet $2.7 million on Alabama to beat Georgia in the College Football National Championship game. Also bet more than $3.5 million throughout the course of the most recent baseball season on the Astros to win the World Series, which they did not, being beaten by the Atlanta Braves. So he's just been getting slaughtered.
Okay. As a Houston guy, I need you to explain to me how a mattress salesman has tens of millions of dollars to blow.
All right, nickname Mattress Mack, but Gallery Furniture sells all different kinds of furniture. So basically, he's done this for years and years and years, where now people know, okay, if the Super Bowl is coming up or the Astros are in the playoffs or the Rockets are in the playoffs or whatever, there's probably a deal, and he does crazy commercials all the time and splatters them all over local news and local channels in Houston so that people are aware. People know he probably has a deal going where if I go buy some furniture and his bet hits, my furniture is free, right? But if he loses, then you have to pay. So he's recouping some of his losses this way. But I don't know, and what I don't think anybody knows, unless you're his accountant, is whether or not this is actually working for him. Because is he do we think he sold $15.4 million in furniture? And we're talking about it would have to be profit. This is stuff he's buying and selling, right? So it would have to be profit off the top in the last 5 weeks to offset all of those L's that he has stacked.
Here's how I would think about it, right? When they announced this Bengals bet, let's say 3,000 people bought $3,000 plus furniture, right? Right. It seems like a lot. I don't know how much furniture Houston people are buying on a weekly basis.
I mean, there's just millions and millions of people in the city. I assume, a fair amount of furniture shopping goes on.
3,000 times 3,000,
right,
alone is 9 million. Again, you said margins. Let's say he has a 50% margin, divide by 2, 4.5 million is what he would make if 3,000 people spent $3,000.
Yeah. So the math is a little tricky, and it really depends on his margins and stuff too, I guess. We really don't know, but all in all, just an insanely degenerate way to power your furniture business. And if you look the guy up, like Mattress Mack, just Google it. I mean, he does look like this would be his bag. This would be the type of thing that he does. And when you're the biggest furniture, to even become a well-known furniture salesman, you have to be a bit of a nut, right? Can't just be boring with it. It's a boring industry.
Yeah.
Furniture shopping, nobody wants to do that.
You need to make yourself the face of it like that guy in Yellow Jackets did.
Exactly. Got to be exciting with it.
But he's subsidizing his gambling with his business, which is the most degenerate thing you can do.
And seems like it would be illegal on some level, but it's not, because he's been doing it forever. Either it's not, or the feds are just being lazy.
Maybe that's why he does money line bets and not spreads, because it's like, if the Bengals cover 4.5, then it's shady.
It's too confusing.
But it's just if the Bengals win the game.
Right. So it's a lot more simple for his commercials and all the radio spots he does and shit as well. Anyway, if you like betting on sports as much as Mattress Mack, but hopefully with better luck, today's episode is also brought to you by our sports betting sponsor, MyBookie. Hit MyBookie.ag. Use the code RBP when you sign up to unlock a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. The Super Bowl has come and gone, but have no fear, my degenerate friends. The NBA season is heating up with the All-Star break approaching, the back half of the season ready to roll. NHL hockey is underway, and of course, the Winter Olympics that no one is watching. You can bet on all those things and actually make the Olympics a little more interesting on MyBookie.ag, where they have all the prop bets, futures, and if you miss the start of the game, all the live lines that your blackened heart could possibly desire.
I have an amazing Olympic story. If you had bet on women's monobob yesterday.
Okay.
So the monobob is the bobsled. There's one seat.
Only one person in it.
So it's like
This is one of the new sports this year.
It is.
Women's monobob.
It is.
Yeah.
So there is a Canadian woman. Like she's like the 2-time world champion, Canadian woman. She had a disagreement with a Canadian coach. And so because she was married to an American man, she switched Olympic teams from Canada to America, and then she won the monobob by 1.5 seconds. It's like one of the biggest, like...
Are the Canadians pissed?
They have to be. She won by one of the biggest margins in Olympic history. Because she
America.
just switched teams and then destroyed her old team.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Support the podcast when you do your sports betting by going to MyBookie.ag today and using the code RBP when you sign up to unlock a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. Stipulations apply. That's MyBookie.ag, code RBP, for all the sports betting madness you could want, plus the casino and live casino if you really want to get weird with it. Good luck, have fun, and always remember, gamble responsibly with MyBookie.ag using the code RBP at sign up. All right, one more insane headline before we move forward. Siberian teen jailed for 5 years after attempting to blow up a Russian government building in Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
The metaverse is now making its way into like counterterrorism?
If there was a country that you were going to pick to say, yeah, I bet they jail people for doing shit in online, in video games and whatnot, I would have said North Korea first. But then again, I don't even know if they're allowed to play Minecraft.
There's
in
no
North
way
Korea.
they're allowed to play Minecraft.
So Russia would probably be in the top 3, and it turns out there actually is an issue here. 3 Siberian teenagers have been sentenced for plotting to destroy the Russian government's Federal Security Service, FSB, building in Minecraft, among other activities. A Russian military court found the teens guilty of undergoing training for the purpose of carrying out terrorist activities, the Moscow Times reported, with one of them sentenced to 5 years in a penal colony.
I'm picturing like their little Minecraft block characters doing those like ISIS training camp videos. They just like do monkey bars and shit.
The other 2 teens were given 3 and 4 year suspended sentences, though all 3 were arrested at the same time at 14 years old for posting political leaflets on their local FSB office. The FSB searched through their phones after the arrest and found videos of the teens making pyrotechnics and allegedly throwing Molotov cocktails alongside their plot to blow up the virtual FSB building created in Minecraft. Nikita Uvarov, the teen given a 5-year sentence, told the court, quote, "I had a desire to learn something new. I like to learn something about physics, chemistry, biology, about various famous scientists. I also watched scientific and educational programs." He added later, "I am not a terrorist. I am not guilty. I would just like to finish my studies, get an education, and go somewhere far away from here, somewhere I don't irritate anyone from the special services."
Just saying, let me out.
That's a sound goal, though. Especially once you're 14 and you've already been busted for virtual crimes against the government in Russia. I feel like the move is to get the fuck out of that country as soon as possible, as you're probably on all of the watch lists now.
So what I'm gathering from this is
Putin watch lists.
they weren't just planning to blow up the Minecraft. They were posting leaflets on the actual office.
Sounds like it.
And then they were also making Molotov cocktails, but not saying, I'm going to blow up. They were just like as 14-year-olds do,
Sure.
just make Molotov cocktails.
But then when you combine that with their Minecraft activities, apparently that was too much for the Russian government to let slide.
I mean, you can't just blow up. At what point? This is like the whole question of people are talking about when you get into the metaverse, when does crime happen, right?
Right.
Like if somebody comes over and is following me throughout the entire metaverse, can I like, hey, I'm being stalked. Can
Is
I
that a
file like a
stalker?
protective order?
I don't know. Like, can I beat the shit out of you in the metaverse and then you file an assault charge against me? Is there murder in the metaverse?
If you spank my tight little ass in the metaverse, can I file for like a sexual assault?
You can definitely do a sexual harassment claim IRL, but I don't know about in the metaverse. I don't know who makes the laws of the metaverse. I hope it's not Mark Zuckerberg,
I feel like it is.
but it probably is, right? Probably is. Anyway, that's our insane headlines of the day. Jared, I cannot stop documenting the public downfall of that's not even it. My favorite artist ever, just bar none, Kanye West, as he seemingly slips further and further into the delusion that there's a shred of a chance him and his estranged wife, who filed for divorce last year in 2021, Kim Kardashian, will get back together. This man spent all day Sunday attacking Pete Davidson, who he is calling Skeet for some reason, like Skeet Davidson. He won't say his name. He won't say his name, man. It's like a fucking Voldemort situation for him. Like
Skeet Davidson.
Dude, he put up a photo of him with Timothy Chalamet, Kid Cudi, and Pete Davidson and crossed out Pete Davidson's face as part of his explanation for why he's cutting off Kid Cudi. The other part of this is Ye has apparently severed his relationship with longtime friend and mentee Kid Cudi, otherwise known as Scott Mescudi. Another one of my favorite artists ever, who I would argue is the more mentally healthy mental health warrior of the two, as both have dealt with their share of issues. But he was explaining why he was out on Kid Cudi and why Kid Cudi won't be on Donda 2, which is coming out on 2/22/22, February 22nd, the year 2002. The year 2022.
Wait, he's already putting out a new album?
Yeah, he's putting out Donda 2 allegedly on 2/22/22, but we'll see if that actually happens. I think his last 6 albums, he's announced a release date and failed to come even close to hitting it. So anyway, part of my thing was like, dude, you were at this meal too. Like, Kanye is there with Timothée Chalamet and Skeet and Kid Cudi. Why is only Kid Cudi getting in trouble for being friends with Skeet when you were hanging too? Apparently they're close though, like Skeet and Pete and Cudi all actually kick it.
Scott and Skeet.
Scott and Skeet. Yeah, so anyway, he spent all day Sunday attacking Pete Davidson. He just couldn't stop putting up it's like he finally figured out, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to use my Instagram and treat it like it's like how I used to treat Twitter, except it's way less fun for everyone watching. Like, I have loved and followed Kanye since College Dropout dropped. I had to unfollow him on Instagram this weekend because it was too depressing just seeing him derail publicly. I mean, he's still going. 9 minutes ago, he put up a new truck he has filled with roses that I'm assuming was maybe delivered to the Kardashian residence, that on the side says, "My vision is crystal clear," except with a K in front of the word crystal and clear, and it's just filled with roses in the back of the truck.
KK, Kim Kardashian.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I would have looked stupid. Saved by my co-host. Yeah, the guy's fucking losing it. And I say that fully respecting his mental health struggle, but also knowing that if you have bipolar and you don't take your meds, you're going to do really wild shit. And if you have bipolar and don't take your meds, and you're one of the most famous people in the world who's in an active custody battle with one of the most powerful women on earth, Kim Kardashian, bad shit's going to happen.
We're definitely getting a song called Crystal Clear, KK, on the new album. Right?
Almost definitely. Speaking of which, he had a Super Bowl ad for McDonald's, where he rolls up in some futuristic, insane truck that he's apparently been driving around. It was kind of before the Super Bowl. I don't even know if that counts as a Super Bowl commercial. And then Skeet had a full-blown Super Bowl commercial where he got leveled by
Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, Gerard Mayo just tackled the shit out of Pete Davidson, and then hilariously enough, Pete Davidson's line was like, "It's cool, I'm incredibly hittable," which is exactly what Kanye has claimed he was recently saved by God from a car crash to do: beat Pete Davidson's ass.
When did he get in a car crash?
Keeps getting weirder. It was actually right before College Dropout, and he recorded the song Through the Wire with his whole jaw wired shut. Remember, right down through the wire, even through the fire. You don't remember that song?
Nope.
Okay, all-time Kanye song, Weird of You to Not Know Through the Wire. It was his first hit, Jared.
He sang it with his jaw wired shut?
The whole song he did with his jaw wired shut. So he's rapping kind of funny, because you can tell he can't open and close his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing right now. Anyway, so turns out actually at the Super Bowl, Kanye was sitting on the 50-yard line. But I would note, with an obstructed view, he had a giant cameraman right the fuck in front of him, which was just really unfortunate for him and the bevy of rappers he was sitting with, including Tyga, 2 Chainz. Whole situation was just strange.
Well, and his view was also obstructed by a ski mask with holes.
Yeah,
he was not eyes in a mouth.
He was wearing one of the face masks that he's been rocking for several weeks now, where it looks like he's being taken to Guantanamo Bay or a CIA black site, and that he's been bagged. And he's sitting there, 50-yard line. He eventually took it off. I would note. Also, people give me shit for wearing sunglasses on the show, and that's the next level. I'm coming in next week with a fucking mask on that looks like I'm about to be interrogated by the CIA.
We would do a lot of views on TikTok if you put a ski mask on.
Seriously, if I can find something that resembles that, I'll order it today. But he's on the 50-yard line, obstructed view with 2 of his kids, North and Saint. I guess that's all of his kids. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep track of. There was a lot of weird shit that's happened in him and Kim Kardashian's relationship. But I'm just going to read you some of the memes this dude went off with. Okay, first of all, I don't know if he has a person making memes for him or if he's physically sitting there and like photoshopping these things himself, but he took Marvel's Captain America Civil War and switched out all of the characters in it for the people that he sees, I guess, as on or on the opposite team of him, which is so him at the top across from Skeet, and then below him on his team is Drake, Julia Fox, Travis Scott, and Future, which I'm pretty certain him and Julia Fox aren't even really together anymore because of all this publicity. He's like publicly been trying to get his ex-wife back, which I have to assume is problematic for their relationship. And then on Skeet's side, it's Skeet, Kim Kardashian, Kid Cudi, Billie Eilish, and Taylor Swift.
I didn't know Kanye hated Billie Eilish.
And his caption was, all caps, the internet has still not found a decent picture of Skeet. He's claiming that the dude doesn't have a decent picture. Billie Eilish did a show last week where she, during the concert, noticed a fan was struggling. I think it was an asthma attack or something. She stopped the show, allowed that fan to get help, and then said, when I see somebody struggling, I don't start playing again until I see that it's been taken care of. Kanye took that as a direct shot at Travis Scott, who now infamously lost 10 of his fans who died at the Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas last year, and has been embroiled in all manner of controversy and lawsuits ever since. I continue to his next meme. He's just finding really shitty outfits that Pete Davidson wore and putting them up, and this one's caption says, "Look at this dickhead." I wonder if Instagram going to shut down my page for dissing Hillary Clinton's ex-boyfriend. So not only does he call him a dickhead and make fun of his clothes, which both of those are fair, he claims that Pete Davidson, a.k.a. Skeet Davidson, dated Hillary Clinton. Don't we think we would have all known that? He even put in here like Google it. I'm not making it up.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. The dude is.
Do you think Skeet Davidson dated Hillary Clinton?
Thank you to all my fans for having my back. And you can Google the Hillary thing. I'm not making this shit up. That's what he said. No, I hope not. Although we do know he's gone after older women multiple times now.
It's true.
He then put up a photo of Skeet sitting next to Ariana Grande that is like from a story that is claiming basically that Davidson sent intimate images of himself and Ariana Grande, like, them in bed after they had sex or whatever, I assume. I don't really know. But like personal photos of him and Ariana Grande to Mac Miller in an attempt to get Mac Miller to not further attempt to rekindle their relationship, which is very ironic considering he just gave Skeet an idea of what to do next. If I'm Skeet, I'm immediately snapping photos of me in bed with Kim and texting them to Kanye. But all the while, that has upset both Mac Miller, Ariana Grande, and Pete Davidson fans. So he's just pissing off as many people as he possibly can. Then, to ensure people that this was actually him posting all of this insane shit and weird memes and calling Pete Davidson a dickhead and refusing to call him Pete at all, just Skeet, he put up a photo of himself holding a yellow notepad that says, "My account is not hacked," with the date, 2/13/22, and a very serious face. With the caption, "My account is not hacked. I will be at Sunday service at noon and will be taking North and Saint to the Super Bowl shortly after." I just don't know what to do anymore.
Well,
I can't watch this. Here's the thing. I've hit the point finally that one of my very close friends, Eric, hit years ago. When Kanye started acting kind of like delusioned and nutty with a degree of regularity that upset Eric, Eric was like, all right, I'm fucking out. I can't do it anymore. Now, he'll still listen to the music on occasion, but he won't really pay attention to what Kanye does in his personal life. Now, that's what I have to do. Because if I continue to watch this bullshit go on, I'm not going to be able to be a fan anymore. So I have to unfollow. I have to unpay attention because this is the extent of what's going to happen. This is it. It's just going to be him spewing nonsense onto the internet until that next Donda album drops, which we all know will likely not be 2/22/22 because it's Kanye and he's off his meds, frankly.
So you think, I mean, this is clearly a marketing campaign for the Donda album to a degree. They're like, hey, Kanye, be completely unhinged, what you are already going to be, but we're just going to make it marketing.
Yeah, but they, in that sentence, is the other voices in his head. Hey, Kanye, be completely unhinged. You'll get a ton of eyeballs and you'll sell even more copies of So it's like, it's not like it's a well thought out and executed plan a la the Kardashian clan, like the way they do their marketing with all the drama and the sex tapes and the what have you. This is just like a sick man attempting to replicate what he has been party to for like a decade now as a part of that family. It's bizarre. Now, all that being said, North and Saint were right there for the greatest halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl, bar none. And yes, this has been declared and confirmed by everyone who is not a boomer or incredibly lame hater. Many racist boomers died during that halftime show. Like just full-on cardiac arrest as a result of 50 Cent being upside down in the candy shop with a bunch of strippers twerking around him and Snoop Dogg hitting the C-Walk. And then that was just incredible. It was all time.
Why was he upside down, 50 Cent?
Because that's how the candy shop video started. The music video. At the beginning of the music video, he's upside down. He was replicating, and now also that is a giant meme everywhere because people are making fun of how large he's gotten. But like that was
his cheeks are covering his eyeballs.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. Give the guy a fucking break. You know, he was filthy fucking rich this entire time. You thought he was just gonna say skinny as hell? He did get caught up in an HGH ring at one point, which also Mary J. Blige was a part of, and Busta Rhymes.
Wasn't 50 Cent like a major investor in vitamin water?
Yeah. Yeah. He had like a 10% stake or something crazy and made like $100 million when they sold.
I used to drink vitamin water in middle school.
I drank it a lot in high school. It's been a long time since I've had one.
Because what happened was this. The only reason we drank it is because we were pretty much told it was like Gatorade, but a lot better for you.
That is exactly what we were told.
And then we found out later it was like Gatorade, but slightly less bad for you.
And tasted a little different.
It tasted a little worse.
I was really in on it because of 50.
Bro, that
was
Triple X, the black and white label, Triple X, the acai berry. Bro, I thought that was going to make me live forever.
Dude, G-Unit ran my life for like a full 2 years. And like, that was me in my prime in high school, dude. We were going nuts for every single G-Unit song that came out. Even fucking Lloyd Banks. We paid attention to that shit even, and that guy sucks.
Lloyd Banks.
He's one of the G-Unit guys.
Sounds like he's one of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's relatives.
But all in all, the Super Bowl halftime show, like I didn't really know what to make of it when they announced it. I was like, okay, this could be really cool, but also it's the Super Bowl halftime show. Like I could see it ending up being very, very lame. It was fucking incredible. And like to the point where I was having so much fun like halfway through that I was like, wait a minute. Is this just because I'm old now? Is it because I've aged so much that now I'm one of the demographic that enjoys the Super Bowl halftime show? Because historically, they're pretty underwhelming or just like way too white and strange. Now, they've done a good job the last several years. Some of you may remember Beyonce's famous performance, which upset Whitey big time, where she was like dressed in Black Panther garb along with all of her dancers. But this was the NFL full blown being like, all right, fine. We'll do rap. We'll have a full blown hip hop concert with like 6 of the GOATs take place right here. Like Dr. Dre and Snoop alone could have done 30 minutes and I would have been stoked. That was fucking awesome. Bringing out Mary J. Blige to include some female talent, kind of unexpected, but also fucking awesome. Well, it was announced, so it wasn't unexpected. But like, I wouldn't have expected that to be the go-to. You have to remember, this is all in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Rams playing in their brand new stadium. And these are LA guys for the most part. Then there's Eminem, of course, who is, you know, he's one of the Dr. Dre guys. He's an Aftermath guy. He falls under that umbrella. Same with 50 Cent. 50's a New York guy. So you've got Detroit representation. You've got New York representation. But the overall umbrella being Los Angeles, and Compton is represented by Kendrick Lamar, who comes out and just absolutely crushes. And I was thinking to myself, like, God damn, he's got to be one of the younger dudes or performers, period, to ever have this moment where, like, you're doing a halftime show. I would say he's halfway through his career. Like, it's not like he's in the back half yet, even. Kendrick. He's only done a few albums, and but that's also just kind of how he rolls. He's not like dropping an album every year to try to stay hot all the time. He just knows he's better than everyone else, which he is. And when he performs, I'm reminded of that. There are not that many dudes who can stand up and throw bars with Kendrick Lamar. There just aren't. It's like J. Cole, I don't know, maybe a handful of others if you wanted to really get weird with it and make the argument. But
I think Russ could.
Yeah, Russ. Oh, man. What was his hit song that I know?
I don't even know. I just know, from what I know about rap, people always say he's like the worst, softest guy. So I figured that joke would hit, and it did.
He's very hated. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you which one. I looked up Russ hits, and I don't even know which one is. I think maybe Don't Waste My Time. Who the fuck knows? Thank you for bringing up Russ. Yeah, anyway, so there was a point when they were all on stage at the end, when they were all up on the top of the same little fake house or whatever, when it was Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Blige within like 15 feet of each other. And I think that was the most, like to me, to Ross personally, like the most influential and famous group of musicians I have ever seen standing in that close of a vicinity.
Anderson .Paak was there too.
Blew my mind. Yeah, I saw photos of him there. What the fuck? What?
He was playing the drums for Eminem.
Oh, shit. Damn, I didn't even know that. That's fucking awesome. When Dre hit the piano, I was losing my mind. I was also like, is Eminem struggling to breathe right now? Because he hit a knee, ironically. And no, that was planned. And also, apparently he had asked the NFL, like, or informed them, hey, I'm going to do the knee thing. I know you guys don't like that. And they were like, fuck you. No, you're not. So he did it for like 3 whole minutes while Dr. Dre played the piano behind him. But I thought he was having like a medical emergency. It did not hit me. Like, I was so caught up in the hype of the performance and how everything was going. Like, it did not occur to me that he was making a social statement in the middle of this, but that's what he was doing. So, yeah, watching Dre play the piano was incredible. The whole thing was just like, whoever planned that, designed it, should be given a massive, massive raise. Just like whoever was in charge of Chevy's Super Bowl campaign, which was to recreate the entire Sopranos intro featuring Meadow Soprano, otherwise known as, what's her actress's name?
Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Thank you. Austin resident, Jamie Lynn Sigler. Driving a Chevy Silverado EV.
Silverado, whoa.
Down the route, whatever, that Tony Soprano drives during the opening sequence of every single episode of Sopranos, culminating with her, I can't do spoilers here, but just hugging AJ, another one of the characters from The Sopranos. Probably, that was a top 10 Super Bowl commercial I've ever seen, no argument. Now, I'd have to spend a lot more time thinking about it before I declared it like the greatest ever, but definitely the best one I saw yesterday. Blew my freaking mind. Like, you know how you can always tell an effective commercial by how closely you're paying attention. I was zoned on my phone, and I heard the woke up this morning and got yourself a gun. And I like jumped out of my seat. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Did I press a button? Did I accidentally start an episode of The Sopranos? I've been watching The Sopranos episode by episode for months now for our TV and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles Patreon page, where we are doing one companion podcast episode for each episode of HBO's classic crime drama, The Sopranos, on patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. We're like over halfway through season 5 now, if you'd like to jump in and join us. But anyway, it completely took all of my attention away from everything else I was doing and was just like, holy shit. The combination of the Sopranos commercial and the halftime show alone made this one of my favorite Super Bowls ever, where I was just like, it couldn't have catered more to me specifically as a very basic douchebag who grew up and went to high school in the year 2005. So I was so happy. And yes, if you would like to take on The Sopranos with us, I could not more highly recommend that you do so at patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. Doesn't matter if you've seen it before. If you've never watched The Sopranos and you're younger and you're like, man, that commercial really got people hyped. It must have been a good show. Guess what? It's an even better show when after each episode you listen to a companion podcast for that episode that is hosted by me and Barrett Dudley on patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. But if you're like me and you've seen The Sopranos 7 times through, it doesn't matter. It's friendly to first-timers and rewatchers, our companion podcast. So hit patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles today and sign up if you want to do The Sopranos with us and support Bolen Media at the same time.
Was that your first, or is that now, that Sopranos commercial, your number one top favorite Super Bowl commercial of your lifetime?
I mean, I don't want to say number one, because there used to be a lot of really, really good Super Bowl commercials. Like, there would be at least 3 that after each Super Bowl, everybody would go talk about, and this is before social media. Like, it was a totally different ball game, whereas now, For example, Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton's Super Bowl commercial. I saw that on Instagram last week.
Yeah.
And then it airs during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, And they always, that now basically, like, because everybody knows that television commercials in and of themselves are like a dead form of marketing. Like, that is not the most effective way to reach the audience that most people are trying to reach, which is like 18 to 25 years old, because you're trying to pull people in so that they'll be fans and consumers of your brand for the rest of their lives, right when they're starting to get disposable income or whatever. Television is dead. But a Super Bowl commercial is still sort of a big deal. What they end up doing, though, is they take their Super Bowl ads and then they chop them up and use them all over social media for like the next month. One of the things I noticed today that's really interesting, they have gone, Chevy has, and paid like every single living Sopranos character that they can find to repost that ad on their social media today, just to make sure that like nobody is getting missed. I actually ended up I tweeted about it. I was like, now that's how you make a fucking commercial, Chevy or whatever. And Chevy responded. What the hell did they say? I'm pulling it up right now. Chevy said, boss status achieved. # Silverado EV. And I was like, fuck, do I have to trade in the Tesla for a Chevy Silverado EV now? And the answer is no. I was kidding, but...
Are you an electric truck guy? If you were going to get an electric truck, you get the Cybertruck.
Yeah, but that thing is not a truck. It's a Halo Warthog IRL.
Well, Ross, and then the back window is completely indestructible except for rocks.
The famous scene of Elon Musk throwing a rock at the back window and it shattering during a demo, which was 2 years ago, and this thing still hasn't dropped, by the way.
He goes, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, one of the great fails in presentation history by Elon Musk there. It's pretty rare that you have I'm always think of Apple events when I think of these. It'd be like if they went to the Apple event and they were like, and look at the phone, it can take a new picture, and they clicked the take picture button and nothing fucking happened. That's how bad it was. He's talking about the indestructible nature of the thing and softly chunked a rock through the back window that shattered the whole fucking window. But no, Jared, I will not be getting a Cybertruck anytime soon, or a Silverado EV anytime soon. I'm not truck guy, man.
It's good that you don't get a Cybertruck because, as you know, people already, against my wishes, call me the Cybercuck.
They do.
So it would be good to have less association with that.
Remember when we made your nickname Cactus Jack, and then that's not fun anymore because
no, nobody's ever called me that.
Trav screwed up the whole bit, man.
I think Cactus Jack is now more liked than Cactus Jack.
Also, Spotify, stop playing the fucking Travis Scott song Escape Plan in my playlists. I cannot tell you how many times I've hit the 3 little fucking dots and then clicked not interested in this song or whatever, and it keeps giving it to me in my daily mixes.
He shouldn't have a song called Escape Plan.
It's one of the 2 singles he dropped right before that disaster.
That's one of the worst names you could ever have.
Right? This shouldn't even be on Spotify anymore. If you're going to pull Rogan episodes, at least pull down Travis Scott's Escape Plan.
I can't argue with that.
I'm half kidding. It is upsetting. It comes on and I'm like, oh, God damn, Escape Plan? I skip it within the first 10 seconds every time, and I really have gone out of my way to be like, stop serving me this fucking song. And they keep serving me Travis Scott Escape Plan, which he did not have.
It's like if Michael Jackson had a song called I Love Kids.
Yes.
You take that down.
That one's got to go once the kid accusations come out,
and he does have We Are the World, We Are the Children. That might be, that's probably a big cash cow for Spotify, but they should maybe consider taking that down.
Also, he was like a grown man trapped in a child, or a child trapped in a grown man's body. Yeah, that one.
You don't want to say the original one.
We have a serious issue with celebrity culture in America if nobody's noticed. It's just not great.
You can't say that, Ross.
No, you can't. Anyway, follow us on social media at the Ross Bolen Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, at Ross Bolen Pod on Twitter. You can follow Jared at Jared Borislow on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at WR Bolen on Twitter and Instagram. And just as we have additional ad-free premium episodes of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles covering The Sopranos on Patreon, Jared and I do an episode on Patreon exclusively for supporters of RBP every single Friday when I don't have COVID on patreon.com/RossBolenPod. Ross Bolen Podcast. In addition to the ad-free RBP episodes, you'll get columns including monthly updates about what's going on at Bolen Media. And if you join our Enforcer or OG tiers, you also get mental health minisodes. I have released 2 in February. I'm doing 4 this month to make up for not doing any in January when I did have COVID. The first 2 were about my journey getting off of SSRIs, otherwise known as antidepressants, and then the second one was about marriage and relationships, because I've had so many different people hitting me up about some of these more serious topics like anxiety, depression, or marriage or divorce or relationship issues. The mental health minisodes serve as an outlet for us to talk about those at length
Now,
without really being like a massive downer to our everyday comedic episodes of RBP.
Now, when we first had the idea for mental health minisodes, the idea was like, 15, 25 minutes. The last 2 have been like an hour each.
Yeah.
They're not mini.
Once I get rolling, I can't stop, man. Yeah, I think it was like 45 minutes on marriage and relationships and like 35 minutes on my journey getting off of SSRIs, which was easily the most complete and full dictation of my mental health history from starting in college through 34 years, like 14 years, really. 13 years, really, of my mental health history in one sitting for you if you're a member of our Enforcer or OG tiers on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. And then, yeah, so many people have hit me about relationship, particularly married people who are like, I know you've been divorced, like, help me not be like you. And I'm like, okay. So I did a 45-minute episode on marriage and everything that I've learned in therapy since getting my own divorce. And as silly and ridiculous of a human as I may be, I also I know a lot about those 2 topics in particular, marriage and relationships. And I kind of explained this in the episode, but most advice that can be applied to marriage can really just be applied to life. Like, it works with friendships, it works with business stuff. So there's a lot of crossover there. If you're like, well, I'm not married and I'm never getting married, I don't even believe in marriage, fuck Valentine's Day. All right, well, you can still listen because it will still help. Go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast today and enjoy some of those premium ad-free editions of RBP in exchange for your direct support with a minimum pledge of $5 to get more. Thank you for being with us here today. Jared and I will be back on Wednesday for another episode of RBP, but until then, as Jim Carrey jocked my swag by saying at the end of The Weeknd's most recent album, peace be with you, and also with you.